Durdle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Durdle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and Durdle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today we're playing some more Mangara the Diplomat, part of the Mangara project. Looking at our opening hand, we do have 2 lands. Not too much follow-up necessarily. Myriad Landscape would be good if we have another land source. So the question is, do we want to risk it? We do get Giver of Runes, we do get Swiftfoot Boots. But that's it, unless we draw something. I think I want to risk it and see what happens. So as I said in the last video, even though the thumbnail said otherwise, and as I say in this video, I'm starting something called Project Mangara, or the Mangara Project. I want to see, as new stuff comes out for mono white, if we can build a very good mono white deck that isn't total control stacks, and see if we can just keep improving Mangara throughout everything. So this will be the second video in a 2-part series for this commander, but from then on, it'll be a recurring theme to have mono white decks just randomly appear on the channel to see if we can do something. And we'll cover Mangara, we'll cover stuff like Balan, because there's new equipment coming out all the time and stuff like that. And that's going to be the Mangara project. Planes into play for our first opponent. Leyline of the Void came down while I was talking. Let's check out our opponents here. We have Arahbo, Roar of the World, kitties galore. It's such a nice little kitty. 3 green white for a legendary 5/5 cat avatar. Eminence. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if it's in the command zone or the battlefield, another target cat you control gets 3/3 till end of turn. And his other ability is whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay 1 green white. If you do, it gains trample and XX till end of turn, where X is his power. Can be a very fast deck. Quest for the Nihil Stone out of our next opponent. Leyline of the Void, in case you don't know by the way, is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield, which they did. If a card would be put into your opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Quest for the Nihil Stone is a black enchantment for black. Whenever an opponent discards a card, you may put a quest counter on it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player had no cards in hand, quest counter of the Nihil Stone, or quest for the Nihil Stone rather, has 2 or more quest counters on it. You may have that player lose 5 life. Temple of Triumph into play for our next opponent. Our second opponent is Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. Black-red for a 6/6 Elder Giant. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. So we do have some lands, but I kind of want to keep them. And escape, black, red, red, exile 5 other cards from your graveyard to make it escape. We'll cover our last opponent in a minute. It's going to come over to our turn. We get Teferi's Protection. That's nice. Let's go ahead, play Myriad Landscape, and pass it off. So our last opponent is Samut, Voice of Dissent. 3 red, green for a 3/4 human warrior. Flash, double strike, vigilance, haste. Other creatures they control have haste. And white, tap, untap another target creature. Keyword Soup Commander, usually the big beats. Prismatic Lens after a forest into play for Arahbo. And to cover our commander, 3 white for a human cleric. Cleric, by the way, in case you need to throw a party. 2/4 lifelink. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you or planeswalkers you control, draw a card. And whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. Mountain into play. Sundial of the Infinite. Ooh, things are going to get spicy and bad for us real quick. Over to Samut. Kroxa is, yeah, I'm feeling like a very menacing aura coming off Kroxa. Forest in play, followed by a Sylvan Library for the Samut player. They'll be able to draw some extra cards, but that is a hefty cost over time. Comes to our turn, we get Bounty Agent. That's probably going to be pretty good. Let's go ahead and play Plains, and for the first time in Mangara ever, we are going to summon Cartographer's Hawk, just so we can test it out and get some extra lands out of the deck, really. Let's pass it off. So, this card, 1 white for a 2/1 fire bird. When it deals combat damage to a player who controls more lands than you, return it to its owner's hand. If you do, you may search your library for a Plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. The fact that it has to bounce itself after the fact is a giant pain in the butt. I get why they did it, but it totally sucks. At least it comes into play straight away. Door of Destinies coming down for the cat. I imagine they're going to pick cat. Door of Destinies is a 4-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, put a charge counter on Door of Destinies, and creatures you control of the chosen type get 1/1 for each charge counter on it. That'll have to be something we need to destroy. They do in fact pick Cat. That's it for Arahbo. Over to Kroxa. I'm really hoping they just kind of run out of gas, like they kept a bad hand or something, because this is going to be pretty brutal. Kroxa itself come in, die, and then we discard a bunch. Also, wheels are in red, so that's also problematic. Speaking of wheels, how do you like that Wheel of Misfortune? It's a little confusing, to say the least, but at least they're printing more wheels, especially this one that's kind of like a bidding system, I guess you could say. I hope I get one. Kroxa not doing anything this turn. That is interesting. Over to Samut. Sylvan Library will trigger, and I'll stop saying that until it's destroyed or removed. Rugged Highlands into play for Samut. They'll gain 1 life. So I was thinking about Kroxa, since it seems to be the most devious deck at the table, I guess you could say. I was expecting Tiny Bones there for a minute. I'm glad that's not there. But Sundial of the Infinite will cancel out this escape thing. You just remove it from the stack, so that'll be pretty good. Strom, Senior Edifice are coming down for Samut. That is not something I expected. Notably, with the shtick of equipment and ores for red-white, this card is going to be great. Probably is going to need a reprint after this. We get a Plains. Nice. Let's go to attacks first. We will attack off into the cat player. They have more lands than us, so we can trigger the bird. We have a trigger. We will use the ability. No reason to get the bird bouncing back to our hand if we're not doing that. Plains is play tapped. Plains for the turn. And then we'll sacrifice the Myriad Landscape. Go get 2 more plains from our deck. And we're at 5 lands. We're ahead of everybody. That's awkward, isn't it? Alright, let's pass it off. Plains into play for the cat player on their turn. Keeper of Fables coming down. Door of Destinies will trigger is a cat. Whenever 1 or more non-human creatures you control deal combat damage to the player, draw a card. To the combat step, Arahbo's going to trigger, and I will stop saying that until it stops. Can't really be removed or destroyed. Of note, Keeper of Fables did become an 8/9, so that's pretty flippin' scary. Arahbo decks can be very fast. They tend to run out of gas, though, so I hope this player solved that problem. Over to Kroxa, and through their turn again. They have not dropped another land yet this game. That's a little concerning, although it might give us a little bit time to develop without having to discard our hand. Sunpelt Grove on Samut's turn. They are tapping some mana. Let's see what they do with it. Samut 1 mana away. Obsidian Battle Axe, Tribal Artifact, Warrior. The equipped creature gets 2/1, has haste. Whenever a warrior enters the battlefield, you may attach this to it. Okay, so it could be a Samut kind of, I'm thinking almost a Tron deck as it stands right now. When Samut comes down, it does have haste, double strike, vigilance. Now it will also have 2/1. So it'll immediately be able to hit for 10 commander if we have no blocks, which is really bad. So I'm thinking probably need to get down the Bounty Agent. That's it for Samut. Over to our turn, we get Weathered Wayfarer. That'll be pretty nice. So what do I want to do here? We're probably going to need a blocker at the very least. Probably 2. So let's go ahead and play the Bounty Agent. That'll give us some removal on the board. Weathered Wayfarer. And then the Cartographer's Hawk, just because it's not going to be too useful anymore, I'd rather just have it out there to block. And we'll pass it off like that. Weathered Wayfarer will be able to get some more lands, hopefully thin out the deck a little bit. Cartographer's Hawk's not really going to do that anymore, but Bounty Agent is that removal I mentioned. In case Samut comes down and doesn't swing at us for some reason, we can just threaten to use it. I do love Bounty Agent in this deck, especially with Sun Titan, of course. Sun Titan is one of the best white cards in white, obviously. To Arahbo, let's see what they do with the turn. They could summon their commander, but they do have 5 cards in hand, and they probably want to get Door of Destinies up. We really need to destroy Door of Destinies. Unfortunately, we're not drawing a removal for artifacts just yet. Do have Sell the Wreckage. Probably going to start keeping Mount up for that if I can get some ramp going here. Dark Steel Ingot coming down for the Arahbo player. Adorned Pouncer, it is a kitty. Double Strike and Eternalize. 2 combats, Arahbo triggers. Let's see if they'll send the Fable anywhere. I imagine into us or the Samut player. Seems like Kroxa is kind of screwed, although at this point I'd still probably swing into him a bit. Keeper of Fables off into us. That is a sad face. Well, I mean, I'm biased, obviously, but I don't think we pose any kind of threat right now. Let's go ahead and block with the Hawk. That's what it's there for. Hawk into exile because of Leyline of the Void. And that's it for Arahbo's turn. Going off to Kroxa. Hopefully they'll be able to drop a land. As much as I don't want to have my hand discard, I do like people to play the game. So I do feel for them. Kroxa's still through the turn. Oof. They have 7 cards in hand. I hope they draw a land next turn. Good on for sticking through the game, though. As it is, I think they'll be fine. We're probably going to be on each other a bunch. So unless I have impetus to swing into Kroxa, it's probably not happening. Sword of Body and Mind coming down for the Samut player. Yeah, probably a Tron deck of some kind. Looks like Samut's also stuck on 4 lanes as well, even with the Sylvan Library. We'll have to wait and see if they play one in the second main or after the sword, but that's interesting. There's a land, Platoon to play. Sword of Body and Mind, 2 Shram. Shram? I always put an H in there. Alright, 2 combat. Let's see what they do with it. Through combat, no attacks. Although they did go back and forth trying to decide. Comes our turn, we get a Plains. Nice. So let's go ahead, play the Plains. Let's get down our commander. Because it looks like people want to start attacking things. Then let's go ahead and play the Giver of Runes. And I think we'll just pass it off. We still have more lands than all of our opponents, which is a little awkward. So we can't use Weathered Wayfarer. Yeah, let's just pass it off. No attacks. I guess we could use the Weathered Wayfarer to ping Kroxa. That could have been something. Over to Arahbo. Felwar Stone coming down for the cat. Harmonize. We get to draw a card, but they get to draw 3 cards. We get Emergent Zone. Very good with Sun Titan. Although we gotta get rid of that Leyline of the Void if we're going to get anything out of that. 2 of the combats. Let's see if they send the cats anywhere. If they swing both at us, at least we get to draw a card, but we could be taking a lot of damage. Alright, they target Adorned Pouncer with the effect. It's a 6/6 double strike. No lifelink? No lifelink. That's good. Let's see where they send things. Sad face. They are attacking us with only 1 creature, but I guess that's not quite sad face. But the Adorned Pouncer is going off into the Samut player. I can live with that. We are barreling down. Well, it was 6/7 rather, is barreling down towards us. We will block with the Weathered Wayfarer. Apparently we don't need to ramp as much, which is awkward in white. There we go. 2 of the intercepts. Doesn't look like Samut's going to do anything about it. First strike combat damage step is good against Samut. Keeper Fables triggers for a card draw. Regular damage is good. Samut down to 29. Keeper Fables another card draw for the cat player. Weathered Wayfarer into exile. Combat is over. Cat player 7 cards in hand, 38 life. They're doing pretty well. Okay, over to Kroxa. Let's hope they drop a land. 8 cards in hand after the draw. Expedition map, it's something at least. Vandal Blast, let's see what they're targeting. Ooh, yeah, they're targeting Door Destinies. Heck yes. Alright, and we get to draw a card to boot. Plains into our hand, that works. That's it for Kroxa. Over to Samut. Kessig Wolf Run into play. Oh, that's the trample I was hoping they wouldn't get. That's unfortunate. I'm also hoping Arahbo doesn't get trampled, but I mean, they're both playing green. That's a gross oversight if they don't have trample. Godo Bandit Warlord. Uh-oh. Could be game right here. When there's the battlefield, search your library for an equipment card. Could be Helm. I'm sorry, not game right here. They would still have to equip it. But, yeah. I don't really want to waste Bounty Agent on Golo, but I guess we'll have to find out. It is Blackblade Reforged. Still kind of scary. Still kind of scary. No attacks out of Samut. We'll keep up Bounty Agent for something else, I suppose. Comes our turn, we get yet another Plains. Good art, but we don't need any more Plains. Let's go ahead and play one. Then we'll play Swiftfoot Boots. And we'll go ahead and equip it to Mangara. And call it a day. Keep up mana for Sell the Wreckage. And pass it off. Over to Arahbo. They'll have 8 cards in hand after the draw. The destruction of Door of Destinies, especially because it went into exile, is going to be really beneficial to us. But I assume they have other pump things. Door of Destinies is just one of those extreme cases for tribal decks. Feldar Cub. Sacrifice it. Destroy target enchantment. Cultivate. We get to draw a card. We get Field of the Dead. Yeah, I keep forgetting to take that out. It really doesn't work in the deck. Ooh, Kroxa quits the game. Sadness. Thanks for sticking around as long as you did. Yeah, that just sucks, man. I feel it. Oh, Wayfarer's Bauble into play, I guess I should mention for the cat player. It was up on the screen, not Felwar Stone. They are cracking the Bauble to go get more land. The target is the Keeper of Fables. I always want to say the Fable Keeper. I always get it backwards. Keeper of Fables first into us, but then they decide to go into Samut. That works for me. Shram, again with the H, into the Intercept. They do have pro green, so nothing will happen there. Over to Samut. So they have 6 mana currently in play. Could have a 7th this turn. They could drop Samut, the axe would auto-equip, but then they'd have to move the sword over. That could work for 2, and then Samut is not unblockable, but it's going to be very, very large. We should also mention, or I guess I should, that Bounty Agent now goes to the graveyard because Kroxa is gone. So if we do get our Sun Titan back, or the new Servine's Reclamation Notch I added to the deck, which we'll go over at the end of the video, that could be very good against the Blackblade Reforged or their commander in general. 7th land for the turn, by the way. Let's see what they're going to do with all that mana. Danitha Capuchin Paragon. Yeah, I'm thinking as red-white goes along, this aura equipment kind of thing, I'm glad they added auras and enchantments kind of to it, you know? I'm thinking it's going to become a fairly viable strategy. Probably still very Voltron, but still fairly viable. Blackblade Reforged onto Danitha. First strike Vigilance lifelink, by the way, so it's something to be reckoned with. No haste, luckily, so we don't have to kill it just yet. No attacks, Samut rolls over to us. Hopefully it's not another land. It's not, it's Darksteel Mutation. Okay, that's pretty good. New addition to the deck again. Let's see what we can do with it later. Let's play a Plains. And I think at this point we still just kind of sit here. We're not getting any of our big beaters. Did add another Angel to the deck, by the way. So we can't really go anywhere against anyone. Just hold up protection removal and pass it along. Over to Arahbo. 6 cards in hand, still 38 life. Not too much progress this game just yet. Turn 8. Hopefully we draw something to get things moving along a bit in our favor. I mean, right now we do have tied for the most cards in hand, but our threats are a little bit lacking to say the least. Behemoth Sledge coming down for Arahbo. First printed in... Oh, missed it. This is Alora Reborn, I believe. Beastmaster Ascension. We get to draw a card, and that enchantment needs to die. At least it's on theme with the art, though. Kitties! Cavalier of Dawn. That'll do it. Leonin Relic Warder. There's the battlefield. You may exile target artifact or enchantment. Uh-oh. When it leaves the battlefield, return an exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Hey, that might be a card we can use in here. There's the trigger. Let's see where they're going to send it. I mean, we have Lightning Greaves. Alright, they're getting rid of the Sword of Body and Mind. That works for me. 2 combat, they target the Fable again. Okay, let's see where they're going to send stuff. They do have to attack with their creatures to get counters on Beastmaster's Ascension. But it doesn't say any minimum number. So they can attack one at a time and slowly build it up, or attack with everything at somebody and build it up. Either way is good. Yep, there's the trigger. It is attacking us again. Leave us alone, big kitty. Why? Alright, I guess we'll pick Bounty Agent to block and give it pro green. Actually we could have chosen Mangara, gain 2 life. Bit of an oversight there. I keep forgetting those Swiftfoot boots, not Greaves. And we block. Alright, damage is good for us anyway. We don't get hit by the big cat, so no card draw for them. Samut's turn, Kazandu Refuge into play, they'll gain 1 life. Luxon Warhammer coming down for the Samut player. That's, we got 2 trampoly life-gaining hammers on the battlefield, 1 for each of our opponents. That's not the best. Luxon Warhammer getting equipped to Danitha. Open the Armory. This is being reprinted in Commander Legends, by the way. Search your library for an aura or equipment card, reveal it, put it to your hand, then shuffle your library. And we get to draw a card, by the way. Lightning Greaves. That'll be interesting. They do have to reveal, so let's go and check the reveal box. It is Hammer of Nazan. Equipped creature becomes indestructible, has 2/0, and whenever it or another equipment enters the battlefield, you may attach it to target creature you control. Very good card. Got reprinted in Double Masters. I don't remember if I got one or not. I don't think I did. Man, that set was a mixed bag. Danitha going off into the Arahbo player. I can live with that for now. Ooh, Arahbo takes all the damage. The Samut player, though, gains a bunch of life, back up to 39. Arahbo down to 25. Comes our turn. We get Adakar Valkyrie, finally getting some heavy hitters. Let's go ahead and play Emergent Zone. We have 9 mana available. What do we want to do with it? Probably Cavalier of Dawn. Want to get rid of the Beastmaster Ascension. I think we can wait 1 turn on it, though. It says 5 counters, though, so I don't know that we can. So that is a little bit difficult there. We also need to wipe out a bunch of artifacts over here on Samut's side. So, decisions. Alright, so I think definitely the Cavalier. Let's get rid of the Beastmaster's Ascension because we just won't have time to deal with it later. And we'll destroy the Beastmaster Ascension. They do get a token out of it. And then I think we'll just hold up mana for Tefreeze and sell the Wreckage. We have a fairly large guy. We have a, murder on a stick, I guess, for certain permanents, rather, and some protection. So let's just pass it off. Kroxa Golden Cub. Vigilance, as long as it's equipped. Cat creatures you control get 2/2 and have double strike, and they do have an equipment on the battlefield. They can equip it. It only costs 3. They do have 3 mana available. This will be really bad unless it swings all into Samut, which I'm, fine with. Absolutely fine with. Behemoth Sledge to Kroxa. Time for the combats. Where will the kitty claws find their mark? Oop, over to the Fabled Keeper again. Okay, let's see where they're going to send everything. Hopefully over to Samut's side. They don't really have anything to take out Dranith per se, but they would deal a lot of damage. Everything except the Golem able to attack off into the Samut player. I live with that. Let's see what they do about it. Godo on the block against the biggest creature. The biggest creature, none of their creatures actually have trample besides Kroxa, so it's a good block. Danitha blocking the Anointed Pouncer. Alright, so they will gain a bunch of life back. Alright, so damage is good. Samut up to 44. Keeper of Fables gets a trigger because they hit him with another cat. They'll draw a card. Godo down. Anointed Pouncer is also down. So a good hit. Samut gained 13 off Danitha, so negated a lot of the damage. And there's regular damage. Alright, so they're back down to 36. Alright. But they did get 2 cards drawn off of it, so that's not bad. That's it for Arahbo. Let's head over to Samut and see what they're going to do with their turn. They will have 5 cards after the draw. So they do have options. They also have Kessig's Wolf Run, which is pretty scary. Could still drop their commander too. Don't know that would do too much at the moment though. Danitha seems to be a threat unto itself. Temple Garden coming down. Into play untapped. Chaos Warp on Kroxa. Oof. That's gonna hurt them. They get a land for it. That's that's not the best. Hammer of Nazan coming down. We get to draw a card. That's always nice. So I guess at this point we're going to sacrifice Bounty Agent and destroy Danitha. Danitha down. We get Temple of the False God. Nice. Hammer of Nazan into play, targeting Strom. I always say it with an H. In either case, it'll get 2-0 and indestructible. Blackblade Reforged onto Strom. 2 of the attacks, I imagine it'll be us, if anything. No attacks. Cool, we get to save the mana. Comes our turn, we get Amaria's Call. Nice. Don't need the land, so the rest of it's going to be pretty nifty. Play Temple of the False God. Then let's go ahead and play Adakar of Valkyrie. Keeps 5 mana up for us too. And then I think we'll play Lightning Greaves. We do have Teferi's Protection, so if we really need it for some reason, we'll do that. Okay, Adakar Valkyrie equipped with Greaves. Let's pass it off. Adakar Valkyrie is a very good white card, and I'll tell you why. It can recur your own things, sure. It's a 4/5 flyer with Vigilance, sure. But it says when target creature other than her dies this turn, return that card to the battlefield under your control. You can steal other people's stuff as long as it dies. That's fantastic. Also, it's been reprinted into Oblivion. It's like 50 cents, I think. Maybe. Pick one up. Behemoth Sledge onto the Keeper. Yep. 2/2, trample, and lifelink to him. Coat of Arms coming down. They'll get 1/1 for each other creature that shares a type with them on the battlefield. Okay. That affects everyone, by the way. Strom gets a boost. Giver of Runes gets a boost. Mangara gets a boost. The cats are going to get a much bigger boost. Fleeceman Lion coming down, we get to draw a card. Swords to Plowshares, you don't say. 2 combat, boost going to the Keeper of Fables. Hey, I think I said it right. Yeah, I did. Achievement. Alright, let's see where they send it. Trample is problematic. So if they swing it at us, probably swords? That way, well, no, they'll still gain the life. Don't know. Maybe Teferi's. Alright, we have attacks. We have the Leanin Relic Warder off into us. The Keeper of Fables off into Samut. It will probably die in combat, so I don't know what they're doing with that. Unless they have the Flash Kitty. That could work as a combat trick with the Coat of Arms. We will block with the Cavalier against the Relic Warder. Let's go ahead and pass to the thing so we can, you know, activate some abilities here. Pro White to the Cavalier for the blocks. And then we do have a Saram blocking into the Keeper of Fables. So let's go ahead, tap down our Edakar Valkyrie to steal that when it dies. Assuming they don't have Blink Kitty. I guess it's more like Rescue Kitty. I think that's the non-official term for the mechanic. Okay, we get triggers. We get the Keeper of Fables. Keeper of Fables did manage to damage the Samut for 1, I believe, 2. So they will draw a card. Damages as it is. Arahbo, Kaswali Pride Mage coming down. Alright, that's fine. Probably going to be used against us at this point, although that's still probably not the best choice. No mana to use it this turn, though, so that's nice. Over to Samut's turn. 4 cards after the draw and the Sylvan Library trigger. Let's see what they do with it. Still haven't summoned their commander this game. And it having, you know, easily being able to be resummoned because they have extra mana kind of worries me a little bit. They still also have Kessig Wolfrun, which gives stuff trample, which is also not my favorite. Looks in Warhammer, it's going to give trample to Shram anyway. Kessig Wolfrun, +3, +0, and trample to on the turn. Alright, let's see where they'll send it. I don't want them necessarily gaining a bunch of life, but if it's not us, I think I'll let it go once so we don't waste the Swords to Plowshares on it necessarily. Still really suspicious about Samut, since its keyword soup and, of course, has double strike. Shram, not into us, off into the cat player. Alright, we'll let it go. Damage is good. Samut up to 52, Arahbo down to 18. Comes our turn, we get Banisher Priest, nice. Let's go ahead and play Field of the Dead, only land for turn. Again, I really gotta take that out here, it just doesn't work. So, let's go ahead, should we do Amaria's Call? We would have 2 mana left over, but 2 mana doesn't really protect us. No, I think we wait till next turn until we can get Field of the Dead up. Let's go ahead and do the Banisher Priest. Get rid of Shram. Kill their card draw, make them use the Sylvan Library. Banisher Priest is another addition to the deck that I had overlooked. It had Fiend Hunter, but not Banisher Priest. Go figure. And then I suppose we'll also play the Bastion Protector. Get some more creatures out on the battlefield. Leave it there. Let's go to attacks. We'll attack the Samut player with our 2 Vigilance creatures. Why not? We get Keeper of Fables trigger. Nice. They are non-human. Mind Stone. Okay. Let's go ahead and play the Mind Stone. That way we still have 4 mana up for the Sell the Wreckage or Teferi's Protection, what have you. And we'll pass it off. Noticeably, our humans/clerics have gotten huge. Our commander is an 8/10 with Hexproof, Haste, Indestructible, and Lifelink. That's pretty good. Arahbo, Roar of the World coming down first time for this game for that player. It's a 10/10. Not much to sneeze at. Also, now they can also just give extra trample with its second ability. So, yeah. Still really glad we're keeping up mana for Settle and Protection. Feastmane Lion, Monstrosity 1. It becomes indestructible as well. I'm kind of waiting for them to follow up with a board wipe at some point, which is why I also played Bastion Protector. 2 combat, Fleecemane Lion's going to get it. So they have indestructible. No other like evasion abilities, so that's pretty good. But I think they're going to try and kill Samut here with everything that they have. So we left that open for them. Playing politics is sometimes the best way to go about things, or I guess I should say diplomacy. All available kitties off into the Samut player. It triggers, they'll be able to pay it once. Let's see. I don't know when they're going to pay it, so we'll have to see if anything doubles. Oh, I'm sorry, they only had 2 mana available. They could not pay for it. Bit of a sad face, but let's see. They're doing 14, 12, 26, 36 damage to Samut. Samut down to 8 damage is good. Alright, over to Samut's turn. Kind of make it or break it for them. We can kill them next turn with Vigilance, guys. We can also fly over on the cat and do some damage if we really need to. So, yeah. Although this next coming turn, we'll probably play Amaria's Call, get our non-angels to be indestructible, hold up mana for Teferi's protection, try a lock in the game for a victory for us. That's the plan anyway. Samut, Voice of Dissent coming down. The Obsidian Battle Axe will auto-equip. Samut is an 8/8. Just to go over her again, Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Not Trample though, but they do have enough mana to equip Luxon Warhammer, so it will have Trample. There it is, the equip with Luxon and Warhammer. 8/11, Trample, Double Strike. That's enough to one-shot somebody, by the way. Samut off into the cat player. Yeah, we really haven't been hurt by anyone this game. I can live with that. Diplomacy. Go. Golem on the intercept. Will they sacrifice their commander to block as well, though? So the question here is, do we want to kind of screw over the cat player and play Swords to Plowshares? I think we do. It's kind of the most efficient thing. And because their commander has trample, they'll deal lethal. Sorry to the cat player. Block her out of the way. Trample, it won't be absorbed at all. This should be lethal on our buddy over there. Cat player's down, Samut back to 30 life. Now, the life gain is problematic, but they will have gained the life regardless. We get Dawn Charm, very nice. So let's go ahead and play Amaria's Call. We'll get 2 new angels, and our non-angel creatures will gain indestructible until the end of the next turn. That's nice. I didn't know they could attach it to any warrior. That's interesting. Go ahead and attach it to my angels, please. No, that's too bad. Okay, so we do have Dawn Charm now, so I think what I want to do is also Darksteel Mutation on Samut. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Where did the extra mana come from? I guess I tapped wrong. And let's go to attacks. Pulled back the Banisher Priest, attacking with our commander, Cavalier of Dawn, and the Echo Valkyrie because they have Vigilance. Not so much our commander, but padding our life total a little bit. Alright, our commander is getting blocked by 5/2. Damage is good. We gain 4 life. Let's pass it off. 6 cards in hand for Samut. They can still really, really hurt us. So that is problematic. Could do a board wipe. That would take our advantage down quite a bit. Guess we overpaid for Amaria's Call. Sad face. I thought it was 9, not 7. So this card's even better than I thought. Even though I'm pretty sure I said it correctly in the last video. We do have Dawn Charm to regenerate something or prevent combat damage or something like that, so should be okay. Elish Norn. Yeah, that's going to put a damper in things. They also get Shram back, which is unfortunate. Nothing we can do about that. Banisher Priest, Giver of Runes, they're down. Blackblade Reforged being equipped to Samut. It is a 17/14. Commander Indestructible. Luckily, no evasion so far. No attacks. Comes over to our turn. We're going to need an answer here. Angel of Grace. This is a new addition too. It's basically, saves your butt. If your life total would be reduced to less than what reduces it to 1 said, then it can be exiled. It does also have Flash, so a nice surprise blocker there. Unfortunately, we do not have anything to deal with Elish Norn at the moment. Thalia Helitic Cathar. Well, if we play her, she'll immediately die, so that's no bueno. Alright, let's go to attacks, use our flyers. And attack. Also, I love the art on this angel, so good. Why can't they do that for real cards? Damage is good, they're down to 16. Luckily they don't have lifelink, but I guess they can move all that stuff over. And we'll just have to keep fogging until we get an answer, or hopefully win. Over to Samut's turn, 5 cards in hand. They have not used the extra card draw ability from Sylvan Library all game, so that's nice, I suppose. Let's see if they're going to play against us this time. Xanagos, God of Revels. That will be pretty good for them. Hammerzon being equipped to Samut. They're still going after that commander damage. Xenagos, God of the Revels, will trigger. I imagine they'll pick Samut. Indeed they do. Let's just double check here. She has haste, and that's it. Still don't know how she has haste though, but okay. Comes our turn, we get a plains. Let's go ahead and play it. Still no answers to Elish Norn though, which is problematic. So I suppose we will just keep doing what we're doing. Swing of the flyers and see what happens. Damage is good. Let's go ahead and pass it off to our opponents. Samut's turn, 5 cards in hand again. Still waiting to see if they do a board wipe or something. That would be okay for their commander. It is indestructible. It's also huge. Luxon Warhammer is being re-equipped to Samut. Shinka the Blood-Soaked Keep. That's what I haven't seen in a while. It taps to add red legendary land rather. Red tap, target legendary creature gains first strike till end of turn. There's a whole cycle of those, by the way. People are probably most familiar with the blue one, where it untaps a legend because it's a little bit more combo-tastic. Black Blade Reforged onto Elish Norn. I was starting to wonder when that stuff would happen. Elish Norn is the only one that can really do anything at the moment, although Shram could, I suppose. Same base power. Luxon Warhammer going over. Xenagos is going to trigger. Elish Norn's going to get double power and toughness. There's the attack. 36 damage is no bueno. Neither is them getting 36 more life. So it's time to start with those fog effects. So at this point, I think I actually just want to play Sell the Wreckage so my guys get pumped and we can finish the game. It gets exiled. The equipment falls off. They get a land out of their deck. And we don't get hit for 36 damage anywhere. And they don't gain 36 life. That works. Our guys all become their regular stats, except for Mangara. It's still being boosted by the Bastion Protector. Akiri Line Slinger coming down for them. Okay. Gets 1/0 for each artifact they control, first strike and vigilance. Let's go ahead and play our Angel. It has flash, that way it gets a pseudo haste. I suppose we also could have stolen Elish Norn. I'd forgotten about that, but doesn't look like we're going to need it. Comes to our turn, we get planes, let's go ahead and play it. And let's go to attacks. They are tapped out, so hopefully nothing fishy will be around on here. Swing for a 12 in the air. Damage is good, we win the game. So Darksteel Mutation rather coming really clutch there. Yeah, alright. Good game to our opponents. Sorry about Kroxa, man. I was really hoping they could get to play, but I'm kind of glad they didn't discard our whole hand and make us suffer that way. But, you know, playing Magic when you come to play, that's something you should be able to do. Alright, let's go take a look at the deck. Okay, here's the deck. Did make a few changes, like I had mentioned before. Put in Banisher's Priest because I neglected to have it, and we had to take Eldrazi Displacer anyway. We usually didn't have the colorless mana to blink anything. There weren't too many ETB effects that I really want to kind of use necessarily. There were very good ones. Karmic Guide, Cavalier of Dawn, Sunblast Angel if we needed to, but Sunblast Angel would have killed itself. Plus, we didn't have that colorless mana effect going on very often. Also add Darksteel Mutation. Came in very clutch against the keyword Soup General. Very clutch indeed. Also add Savine's Reclamation. So, didn't get to use it this game. Still testing it out. I said it was going to be a good addition last game, but upon looking at the deck, we have a lot of important things higher than CMC3. So it may not necessarily be something I want to keep. But we do have a lot of important things at CMC3 or less. Like the Bounty Agent, like Darksteel Mutation. Mother of Runes could be really important and clutch in some games. Crackdown. So, gonna keep it in, see how it goes. Did take out Approach of the Second Sun. Because people know it's coming. We can't draw as aggressively as other colors, even with Mangara. So I just felt taking that out would make the deck better overall. Did add Angels of Grace, as you saw. This is kind of like a last chance insurance policy. Plus, it also has Flash, Flying, 5/4. Not bad. This is a very, 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 I can't stress it enough, cheap mythic that like nobody remembers. So if you just randomly want one for your collection, go ahead and pick that up. Other than that, no other changes to the deck. Let's go ahead right now though, and let's take out Field of the Dead, scroll down here. Where'd it go? Field of the Dead, where are you? There you are. So probably just going to put into normal plains unless I can find a something suitable to put in there otherwise. I'll go take a look, do a little bit of research, and that'll be ready for the next time we come back to Project Mangara. Probably in a week or two, maybe 3 weeks. Commander Legends is coming out. Gonna be tons of new legends to try. If you saw anything in this video you want to purchase for yourself as a physical form in paper, sealed product, or card sleeves to maybe protect those things, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It'll help out the channel and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Until the next series with our next Commander review, I'll see you then.